Hello, welcome back. In today's lesson, I would like to show you some tricks and some pretty simple, straightforward concepts that will allow you to mix major and minor pentatonic scales pretty effortlessly and fluidly in your playing. I've spoken a lot on this channel about the importance of telling stories with your solos and your melodies and your phrasing by using major and minor pentatonic to shift between that kind of everything's okay, it's positive, uplifting, major pentatonic sound with that kind of darker, bluesier, sadder minor pentatonic sound, and use that push and pull between those two tonalities. I've also mentioned that, all the legendary blues rock, classic rock, hard rock kind of guitar players really excel at this exact thing, weaving in and out of major and minor pentatonic tonalities, often within the same phrase, not just within the same solo. So I'm going to show you some ways that they do that. How can you switch tonality in the middle of a phrase without jumping all over the neck? Well, there's two kind of principles that we're going to look at in this lesson. The first is major and minor pentatonic scales exist in the same position. You don't necessarily have to move or shift positions to change tonality. Second, the exact opposite of that is also true. There's a wonderful device that helps us kind of with call and response phrasing, and without having to relearn a lot of fingerings. And that's simply any minor pentatonic scale shape, the 5 different shapes of the minor pentatonic scale, minor pentatonic licks, solos, any of your minor pentatonic phrasing. If you move it down 3 frets, it's automatically major pentatonic in the same key. So you can take all your favorite minor pentatonic licks and stuff, and where you'll be accenting like the flat 5 and the 5, you shift it down 3 frets, and now you're accenting the flat 3 and the 3, the blue notes in the major pentatonic scale. So 2 different things we're going to look at. Shifting down minor pentatonic shapes down 3 frets to become major pentatonic, and then switching from major to minor pentatonic and back and forth within one position without shifting. For the purposes of this lesson, we're just going to use the first 3 minor pentatonic shapes. You will see that they're the same when we go to switch to major pentatonic. It's still the exact same 3 shapes. And the first 3 are really important because when we're playing in minor pentatonic, let's say a key of A. When we're playing in minor pentatonic, the 1 chord is right here, right? At A, that's our 1 chord. Here's our minor 3rd within the scale, right? And I go up a whole step from there, and I have my 4th. So if we're playing a blues, then it goes 1-4-5, or any kind of song that goes 1-4-5 or 1-5-4, uses that kind of progression. There's our 4. And there's an associated pattern that goes with that. First we had shape number 1. pentatonic shape number 1, standard first shape. Then we jump up to this minor third right here, and we play shape number 2. So we had started on the minor third, and then this must be our 4th right here. So we're going to jump up to the 4th. We're going to use our first finger, and we're going to play the 4th and the 5th, right? And we're going to play the 3rd shape, minor pentatonic position 3 shape. So those are the 3 shapes that we're going to be working with. Before I go any further, I don't know if you know this, but I want to show you 2 very cool kind of devices that exist within these 3 shapes. One thing you'll read or hear about great blues and blues rock players like Stevie Ray Vaughan, Eric Gales, Eric Clapton, all the greats, is that they have a mastery of the interconnectedness of the minor pentatonics or major pentatonic shapes. They don't just stay in one position and then, shift up to another position and solo there in a box. And then maybe up to another one. And it's all kind of boxy, right? A way to make it more linear and to connect those first 3 patterns are with 2 devices. The first is called the house pattern because it makes like a visual shape of a little house with a pitched roof. And that is in the 2nd minor pentatonic position. So we play our first position, and these 2 devices I'm going to show you are on the top 3 strings, which is great for soloing. That's where most of your soloing and your melody playing comes from, is in the top 3 strings. So they're more vocal, you can bend them better, get better vibrato, etc. So we came up here to our minor third. So we're going to go up here to our 4th. And this is the top of the 2nd position. And we descend. And there's what's called the house shape. It's kind of like the walls and a little pitched roof. And that's the 5 right there of the A minor pentatonic. So here's the flat 5. Here's the 4. And if you get on a whole step, there's the minor third. And now you're back in position 1. So positions 2 and 1 connect with that house pattern. So see how you can easily move in between those 2. Okay, now let's look at our next device. There's not really a name for it like the house pattern. I call it the pinky device to remember it because we get out of the 1 and 3 kind of pentatonic and we have to use our 4th finger, our pinky, for this one. So we were up here in the house pattern, right? Pattern 1, pattern 2. Now we're going to go up to the top of pattern 3. And we are at the 5th of the A. So there's our 5. We step down, descend, and here's where we use our pinky. So right there. Now, once we descend and we get down to that note right there, at the bottom of those 3 strings, we're back on the 5. So the flat 5 to the 4, down to the minor 3rd. So just like we had the house position, transitioning back into position 1 at the flat 5 there, turn around, we can do the same thing up here. Great ways to transition vertically in between position 1, position 2, and position 3 of the minor pentatonic or minor blues scale if you're using the flat 5s. There's another flat 5 right here because E is our 5th, right? So before we go into major pentatonic, let's real quick look at the notes that make up a minor pentatonic scale. We have our root, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave. And then they just repeat. Minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave, and then minor 3rd on top. This next one, if we jump up to the minor 3rd and do position 2, we're just starting on the 3rd. It's the same scale tones. 3rd, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave, minor 3rd, 4th. With our flat 5 being the 3rd position, again, same scale tones, we're just starting on the 4th. 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th, minor 7th, octave, minor 3rd, 4th, 5th. So what makes a major pentatonic different? It has different scale tones. So we're going to play a major pentatonic. Instead of starting with what I call a minor shape with your root, the first finger on the root and getting this minor 3rd, we're going to use a major shape. Second finger on the root, which will allow us to get this major 3rd on the A string. So the major pentatonic scale has root, major 2nd, major 3rd, 5th, major 6th, octave. There's no 7th. Let's Let's listen to the difference. Minor, major. Minor blues, major blues. Let's take a step back. Go to minor pentatonic position 2, shape number 2, right? We started here on the minor third and we played. Okay, take that down 3 frets. 1, 2, 3, down to the A. Play the exact same fingering. That's the major pentatonic that we just played. Pretty cool, right? The exact same minor fingerings that you already know, move it down 3 frets and it's now major pentatonic in the same key. Let's look at shape number 1. Move that down 3 frets and begin with your pinky, okay? Don't begin, this is your 6, okay? You don't want to start there. To keep it in the same key in A major, start here. But you're going to play the exact same shape. As the minor. We're going to start from our pinky, root, 2nd, major 3rd, 5th, major 6th, root. Okay, now check this out. Let's look at the house pattern, right? If the house pattern worked for our minor pentatonic, right, we went up to position 2. Well, let's go down to our major pentatonic and shift up a whole step and do the exact same thing. There's our house pattern. Exact same fingering, but now it's major pentatonic because we slid it down 3 steps. 1, 2, 3. We're still in A. It's still A, but now it's A major. So if that's my house position, my pinky position should be a whole step up. So there we go. No need to learn new fingerings. We've got the pinky position, third shape, the house position, 2nd shape, and then your first position. So, and you just slide them down, minor thirds, down 3 frets, and your minor licks, minor scales, minor shapes become major pentatonic. So let's take a look at not shifting. Let's see how they kind of overlap within one position. Let's go to our first position, A minor pentatonic. Okay. Now, if we want to put the blues scale and have the flat 5, we would put that note in right there. And that's important here in a second, you'll see. So we play 3-1, 4-1, 3-1. And that's the top of our minor pentatonic. But if we stay in that same shape and play 3-1, 3-1, 2, that's our house position, right? There's our house shape for major. So here's minor. Here's major. Right in the same shape. You don't have to move positions. Start off minor. Go down into major. Shift back into minor. Okay. Let me kind of show you that, how that's working. So here's our major shape. Minor position, minor shape 2, but starting on the root. Second, flat 3, 3. Those are the blue notes, the flat 3 to 3 in the major pentatonic. So we can play that note, and that note because it's the second, minor third, major third. But we can also play the fourth and the flat 5, the blue note in minor. So all 5 of those notes are fair game. You can kind of get away with doing some kind of outside jazzy stuff just using those 5 notes in the middle of a regular kind of major minor pentatonic sequence. House up to pinky. Back down the house. Back down first position. Pentatonic, a major. Major house. Down to major first position. Okay, so see how they're all interconnected. And by using those 2 devices, the house and remember that's your 5. So there's your flat 5, the blue note, 4, and now you're down a whole step, and now you're back into position 1. If you're doing it in major pentatonic, that's your major third, minor third, second, down a whole step to the root. And now you're back in first position shape. Let's take a look at the second position, minor pentatonic. And see how that overlaps with major. So here we're starting on our minor third. Well, we know the major pentatonic uses a minor third. That's the blue note. So we would start the major pentatonic right here, a half step below, on the major second. There's the little diagonal major pentatonic. There's your major pentatonic. So there's a repeating pattern of 4-1-4-1. In the major, we have in the minor, we have so you can just use those middle four strings in that 1-4 pattern and get a lot of mileage out of it. Always resolve. Okay, lastly, let's look at minor pentatonic shape 3 and how the major pentatonic overlaps with that. Minor shape 3. So we're starting on the 4th. Right? So if this is the 4, then this is the major third. And we know our major pentatonic is major third, 5th, major 6th, octave, 2nd, major third. So that's our major pentatonic shape in that position. So without moving, instead of starting the minor with your first finger, learn to play it with your second and fourth fingers. And now you don't have to shift position for minor and major. What we have here is our 3rd, 4th, flat 5, 5. We could even play the minor third there. Again, 5 notes we can use to do kind of chromatic stuff. The major has these notes. Minor has these notes. So we have 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 4. All the way across the strings. Very easy. It's kind of like the Locrian mode. But then it just keeps going. It doesn't go to the... It keeps on with that shape. So that's how they overlap in the third position. So there's a nice little down and dirty, easy lesson on how to mix major and minor pentatonics. Take any of your minor pentatonic licks, move them down. When it becomes major, and you can do kind of a call and response, playing the exact same phrasing and shifting the tonality, right? You can also do them in one position. I hope this lesson was helpful. We'll see you next time.